Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. This is Darren Marchant for American Nomad News. Today, I was able to get some pennies from heaven and do a little shopping. And in the Arizona heat, with temperatures like 101 the other day, and who knows what it is today, cold water is a major benefit and significantly difficult to acquire when you're homeless. So with a little cash on hand, I went ahead and I got one of those little cheapy styrofoam coolers. Fresh pair of pants. Believe me, it's pretty nice to have. Pretty nice to have. Okay. A little bit of groceries, not too much because you don't want to carry a whole lot. But one of the things that occurred to me about the ice, when you buy it, it's water. It's fresh, filtered, frozen water. And most people let it get contaminated, let it leak out of the bag. They don't worry about it, they dump it on the ground. This is a giant bag of a nice, cool night. Put it in here like this, in the bag. Pretty soon, it'll melt down, and there'll be a nice little puddle in the bottom. As long as I keep this clean, fresh, cold water all night. Okay. I can keep my milk in there, as long as I keep the bottom of the milk and the container itself clean enough that it's not going to bother my drinking it and stuff. Mixing things up. And I can take the ice cubes as they go and throw them into my water jug. I will have nice, cold water to drink. Major benefit. I can also put some of my other food bank food items that are sensitive to temperature in there and keep them safe. It's inexpensive, disposable, and readily available, even during COVID, because they have them at the gas stations. So I put my items in there. Cool them off quite nicely. Hydration is only one factor. Keeping cool is an important one. Each day, for the last several days, I've been camping in two distinct locations, about 50 feet apart. The other location, over there, is shaded up until noon, and the location that I'm at right now starts being significantly shaded a little bit after noon, but there's a little bit of shade by noon, so that's about when I switch. Whenever I get in the mood for it and it's pretty close to noon, I switch from that side to this side. And this side, in this particular spot, doesn't have a plug-in. There's a plug-in not very far away, and there's a plug-in across the walkway over here in this park. And that way I can keep all my things and myself in the shade the majority of the time. And I don't get sunburned, I don't get blisters, I don't get heat exhaustion. Late in the afternoon it gets quite hot, but now that I have a big bag of ice, and I can load up my jug with ice, and I can take the melt water and drink it, pour it into my jug, that will keep me nice and cool for quite a while. COVID is causing a lot of problems, and the decisions that are being made around the world are not entirely in line with what I would do, and they're not entirely not in line with what I would do. So how do we suss out? How do we sort out the good decisions from the bad decisions? Well, that's complicated. One problem is that people are disturbed in their life patterns and in what they're used to, and everything's a big question mark. And the world's going to change. And the fact that the world changes shouldn't shock us, but what we should do is develop some advice for where to go from here. Some people are talking about, I've seen videos of people talking about crops being plowed under and livestock being destroyed or threatened with destruction instead of sales. This is huge waste, tremendous waste. The livestock, I would advise looking to butcher and preserve that livestock, freeze it, and hold it for when the restaurants and the other places are more available. In the short term, preserve and don't ship in meat from other countries. If you can ship it in from other countries, then you can distribute it here. It's not an issue. We should localize production wherever possible around the whole globe. That really does preserve the environment much better by reducing the amount of fuel that's burned to ship stuff all over the place, and the confusion and shipping animals from one continent to another is a vector for disease. So, what are we doing if that's the case? If these video claims are true, and I'm not going to say that they are or they're not. I've seen no evidence either way, so I'm in no position to say either way. But my take on it would be that if we can ship in animals from another country that we already grow here, then there's no need to kill the animals that we have here and destroy them. Pork, I'm going to say that's a different story, because I don't eat pork, and I have very good reasons for it, and I don't feel right in advising other people to eat pork. Meat is an important source of protein, and there's a lot to be said about efficiencies and environmental impact and all these kinds of things, but waste is waste, and people's livelihoods and their fortunes should not be threatened. The Quran mentions this quite well, that a person who is a believer should not be concerned that their wealth will be unduly taken from them. That is not the Islamic way. And I think that's just good policy, that you don't take people's fortunes away from them. You can change policy, you can change how we do things, but you don't steal from people. This is Darren Marchant with American Nomad News. I wish you all well.